Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at more Am I Wrong stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. Am I wrong for never telling my best friend I once slept with his wife? Like, he slept with his friend's wife before his friend met his wife kind of thing? I have a close female friend who we'll call Anna for this story. We've been close friends since we were 8 or 9 years old and we're pretty much inseparable growing up. During senior high school, she started dating a guy. We'll call him John for this story. I myself was in a relationship at that time, so we'd often go on double dates. Me and my girlfriend together with John and Anna. John was a nice guy and I enjoyed spending time with him. I developed a friendship with him, and though it wasn't as close as my friendship with Anna, I can genuinely say I enjoyed hanging out with the guy. They dated for a few years but eventually broke up at some point during our university years. They said it was a mutual thing. They were each other's first relationships, and I guess they felt like they wanted to know what it felt like dating other people, or something like that. Point is, they broke up and it was fairly amicable. I was still close friends with Anna, so would continue to hang out with Anna. But after they stopped dating, I lost track of John for a bit outside of random meetings in school campus. Anyway, at this point in my life, I myself had just gotten dumped by my own girlfriend, and I wasn't taking my breakup quite as amicably. Anna was there to comfort me through it all, and well, we were both single. We were comfortable with each other, and one thing led to another. We ended up sleeping together a few times. We would have been around 20 at that point. We eventually stopped doing it because, well, it just felt plain weird. We've known each other for so long that it kind of felt like sleeping with your sister. I feel like we slept with each other more out of curiosity rather than actual desire. Anyway, we both agreed it wasn't what we wanted and decided that we'd completely forget about it. Seriously, we agreed to never talk about it again and that we'd treat it as if it never happened. And that's exactly what we did. We went back to being pure platonic friends and acted like nothing ever happened between us. Anyway, a few years later, after we graduated and working as young professionals, I get a call from John. Apparently, the company he was working for had a job opening that he thought I'd be a good fit for. I took him up on the offer and ended up working for the same company. We started hanging out every day in the office, during breaks and whatnot, and we became quite close. I was still friends with Anna at this point, and because both of them hung out with me, they started hanging out with each other again and eventually rekindled their relationship. Me and John eventually left the company, but we retained our friendship. As the years passed, I developed a closer friendship with John than with Anna. We just had more stuff in common, our humor aligned better, etc. So when they got married 8 years ago, I was John's best man. When I in turn got married 2 years later, I also made John my best man. That's crazy. This is tough because it's not like anyone did anything wrong, right? Imagine finding out that your wife or your husband has slept with your best friend kind of thing in the past. And then, you guys will see each other pretty often. I don't know. This is tough. Now we're in our late 30s and I consider John my best friend. But every now and then the thought crosses my mind that I actually slept with his wife at some point in the past. As far as I know, Anna has never told John. Or if she did, then I certainly never noticed any difference in how John acted towards me. Maybe Anna did exactly what we agreed to and completely forgot about the incident. She of course did not forget about the incident. I think she's just taking it to the grave. They know it would probably cause some kind of outburst. I try to forget it as well, but sometimes I still feel guilty in never telling John about it. I also never told my wife. Not because I still have feelings for Anna or anything, but mostly I just don't want to rock the boat. Me and Anna have gotten way over it years ago, and I feel like if I say anything, it'll be made to look like a bigger thing than it really is by both John and my wife, so I keep my mouth shut. But I'm curious, am I wrong for just keeping quiet about this? It's just weird. It's just weird to be best friends with someone, knowing that you've slept with their wife kind of thing. And they obviously feel guilty about it. I mean, I wonder why they're thinking about it now, after everyone's married. I feel like if he wanted to tell John, he should have done that once they reconnected. Why would you want to tell them now, 8 years into the marriage? Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, the guilt is eating you up, but you didn't do anything wrong. Maybe you broke the bro code, but like they were not friends during that time. They became friends after he slept with Anna. So honestly, I don't think he did anything wrong. It's just awkward. I think they should just both take the secret to the grave because there's no point telling anyone. Seriously. There's no point. If anything, that's just going to be more sus. They're just going to be like, well, why'd you keep that from us until now? Do you still both have feelings for each other? Because clearly you slept together kind of thing. And that's just not going to be good. That is really weird though, because I know if I was in John's situation, I'd be pissed for sure. because that's a pretty big secret. Yeah, it's not a good look, but hey, the past is the past. Forget about it. Move on. Am I wrong for not telling my best friend the real reason I'm not at his wedding? I was supposed to be a groomsman for my best friend, as we've been tight since we were kids. This weekend, he's marrying his fiancée, who I've known since they were dating long distance in high school. At his bachelor party last weekend, we started off at my place and transitioned to bar hopping, and by the end, my best friend was drunk and the guys, all our mutual friends and some of his cousins, were egging him on to do a last kiss before marriage day. For extra information, I'm not a fan of that custom at bachelors or bachelorettes because it honestly makes it look like you're being held hostage to marry the love of your life. Plus, it's just disrespectful to your partner. Still, I figured if it had be, my best friend wouldn't do it because I know he loves his fiancée very much. To my literal shock and horror, he turned around, grabbed and kissed me. What? Not even a dumb peck, like he actually dipped me and held it for a few seconds until everyone was laughing obnoxiously. I didn't kiss back, I just froze and laughed it off when it finished. Later, I realized I wasn't having much fun anymore and bailed early, taking some of our drunken friends home with me. Okay, I feel like this definitely has mixed reactions. You know, because some people don't see it as anything as long as they're both straight and they're the same sex. Do you know what I mean? Some people are like, oh yeah, that's fine. But if he kissed another girl, then that's cheating. Or they would consider it both cheating. It just depends on how his partner feels about it, I feel like. The next day, his fiancée first texted me on Insta, then on WhatsApp asking to talk, and then called me. She wasn't yelling or anything, but was just kind of awkward. She said she knew about the kiss, and that while she didn't love it, she was glad it was me and not some random girl. She said if he kissed another woman, she'd have taken it as cheating and dealt with it worse. I agreed and backed her point saying I wouldn't have encouraged her or allowed that. But at the same time, she admitted she didn't feel comfortable with me being at the wedding now either, because it would just be in the back of her head. Oh, I thought she would have been like, oh, it's fine. Because it's not even this guy's fault. It's her partner's fault for doing that. And now he's excluded? That's mean. It's not like he wanted to be kissed. I was admittedly stunned at first, and then mad, and then upset, then came to the conclusion that it was her wedding at the end of the day and told her I got it and wouldn't go. She thanked me for understanding, but also asked me to not tell my best friend that she was the one who asked. I have already sent the text backing out, giving reasons regarding work, and my best friend was very upset and asked me if I could back out in any way. I freelance, by the way, and he knows this. So my lie wasn't a good one, and he went from upset to straight up mad at me for bailing on his wedding day for work. All of our mutuals have texted me in our shared wedding group chat and have asked me to reconsider and told me there's no way I'm skipping his wedding for work I myself manage. Some being harsher and some passive aggressive, all very valid. Now I'm stuck looking like the asshole when I was literally asked not to go, and also asked not to say that I was asked not to go. Everyone around me thinks I'm this asshole for prioritizing work over my best friend's wedding, and I honestly don't know how to navigate this without losing people. I think he should just tell his best friend. The reason why I'm not going is because you fucking kissed me, you idiot. Maybe if you use your brain for 1 second, this wouldn't have happened. And I feel like it's just rude for the fiancé to do that too. Because it's like, you can't ask him not to go and then also say, but don't tell people that I asked you not to go. So like what? This guy's just taking the blame for everything. He didn't ask to be kissed. Now he's seen as an asshole for not going to his friend's wedding, his best friend's wedding. And technically the fiancé only asked him to not tell her husband-to-be, right? So he can tell his other mates why he's not going so they're not like hounding him for it. He can totally be like, well, I'm not going because, you know, blah, blah, blah said this and she wasn't really happy with it. And yeah, I'm just trying to respect her wishes. There. And obviously, it's going to go around and it's not this person's fault because he technically didn't tell him, you know? But yes, honestly, I feel like it's just not fair for this person. He's literally made out to be like this shitty friend now. Like, how terrible is that? You care so much about your best friend, and now everyone's labeling you as like someone just shitty. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!